Hello everyone, greetings of the day and welcome to the continuation of preparation of Indian traditional system of medicine. In our earlier session, we saw the preparation of Asava and Arishta, the liquid oral traditional medicine. Today let us see how the solid oral dosage forms, namely Ghutika and Bhasmas, are prepared. Let us first see what Ghutika means and how it is prepared. So, in the Ayurvedic terms, this is Ghutika, it is also called as Vati or pills, and this is from where the modern day tablets have evolved. These are solid unit dosage forms in the Ayurvedic system of medicine, and they are prepared by triturating herbal powders or mixing a herb and a herbo-mineral powder together with a suitable binding agent like ghee, honey, jaggery or herbal decoctions. Now, it is very important to note here that all these are natural agents. There is nothing synthetic, nothing organic or not an external solvent added. This is then rolled, or in modern days this is compressed into small spherical or tablet like shapes. So, when you have to manufacture in bulk, today the modern machines are used to compress this mixture like the tablet. These pills represent the oldest dosage form in Indian medicine, and they are analogous to our modern day tablets. There are many advantages of these pills. There is a controlled modified release, and since these pills disintegrate slowly in the stomach, the active principles are released gradually in the stomach. So, when these pills come in contact with the gastric juices, it swells and slowly disintegrates, thus giving a sustained effect as compared to our earlier liquid orals. Gutikas are solid Ayurvedic dosage forms that are easy to administer. They are small as compared to our modern day tablets, portable, dose accurate, longer lasting with respect to stability, and they are patient friendly. They overcome many limitations of liquid orals and thus become one of the most widely used dosage forms in Ayurveda. This small, compact, convenient to swallow can be given to children, elderly and weak patients. Some of the gutikas are chewable or can be dissolved in water and milk. Since they are solid dosage forms, they are non-leaky and they can be carried easily during travel. Unlike decoctions or liquids, they do not require large storage containers. So, if you can see here, this is a liquid oral and this is our gutika. So, when you compare, this is very easy to carry. They are less prone to microbial spoilage because the water content is very low. Each pill or gutika represents a fixed dose of medicine, ensuring uniformity. It avoids measurement errors and there are better patient compliance. As I mentioned earlier, these have longer shelf life, importantly because they are solid, dry in nature and binding with preservatives like jaggery, honey or ghee, they resist the microbial growth. The shelf life is hence longer as compared to our liquid orals. Liquid orals on storage, if the alcohol content is lost, then there is a problem of stability. So, as compared to those, these are much more stable. and they retain potency for more than 1 or 2 years. Many herbs or minerals which have bitter or unpleasant taste can be classically formulated as a gutika, and binding or compression into gutika form reduces the bitterness, it masks the taste. So, any unpleasant odor or taste can easily be formulated into a gutika. It can be a single drug or a multiple drug. There can be a mixture of herb and minerals. Everything can be formulated into a single small pill. The binding agents are completely natural and they themselves act on balancing the doshas. It allows a combination therapy in compact form. So, what are the ingredients when we have to start making a gutika? The main ingredient is our herb, either one single herb, a mixture of herbs, or mineral herbo-mineral powder which we plan to incorporate into the formulation. So, these herbs can be roots, they can be barks, they can be leaves, fruits, minerals, etc. And the most commonly ones which are known to be used for wellness and which are gaining a lot of popularity these days are the Triphala, which is a combination of 3 fruits, Amla, Harda and Behda; Trikatu, which has Piper longum, Piper nigrum and ginger; Hing and Tankana. Tankana has a mineral borax. So, depending on the formulation, there is a single herb or mixture of these. Binding agents, as mentioned earlier, are naturally occurring binding agents. Sometimes Gugulu resin, which is known for its stickiness, can be used. And there are adjuvants like water, milk, ghee, honey. If the mixture becomes too dry to form into a dove, these natural binders can be used. So, these raw materials are collected and authenticated. Authentication is very important to know if the material is genuine or no. After drying and powdering, it is passed through 80 sieve mesh. This is very important to maintain the size, because if the powder is too fine, the mass becomes too compact and it is little difficult to disintegrate. If the powder size is too large, it easily crumbles. So, this is 60 to 80 is an optimum size to maintain and keep in mind while powdering the drugs. These are the binding agents mentioned earlier. All this is then mixed, and sometimes bhavana dravyas, which are medicated liquids, may be used for soaking and drying. So, for preparation, once the herbs and the binders are mixed, a dove is formed and this is then shaped into pills to ensure uniformity, stability and patient compliance. So, the triturate made by mixing the herb and the binding agent should not be very sticky, it should be soft, non-sticky and cohesive. If it becomes too sticky, one can sprinkle natural herbal powder, and if it is too dry, then we can add any one of the binding agent. This dove is then divided into equal parts using a spatula. So, suppose we have to make pills in larger scale, then the modern methods of compression can be used and they can be made into small tablets. So, this is how the dough is rolled. Once you make the mixture, this is how it is rolled. You can roll it like this on a tabletop or a platform, and then small segments like this are cut and they are rolled in between 2 fingers. So, this is an art and it is rolled in a circular motion so as to make it spherical. Care must be taken that there should be no crack. So, if it is rolled less, then there can be cracks. So, you can see here the dove is just right. So, this is a licorice gutika where binding agent is the bhavna dravya added is licorice extract itself. So, when this is dried, this is evenly dried without any cracks. The size depends on your dose, and in Ayurveda terms like Kalaya Pramana, which is pea sized, or Chanak Pramana, which is chickpea size. So, any one size can be maintained. The modern measure is around 250 milligram to 1 gram per pill should be formulated, and the consistency should be maintained because this ensures us uniform dosage and therapeutic efficiency. So, these pills, as I showed, they are round, smooth, and if you want it to appear glossy, little honey can be used for it to be little glossy and more palatable. Coating is optional. Some pills are coated with camphor or cardamom for fragrance, and generally the traditionally made pills are free of any kind of film coating. So, once these gutikas are rolled, ensure that they are placed on tray in such a way that they do not stick to each other. So, rolling these gutikas is an art combining hand skill, consistency and knowledge of traditional measures. So, these are characteristics of gutikas. So, if you see here, this is Triphala gutika, but these days when they are preparing in larger quantities, it is in a tablet form. So, this is compressed rather than rolled. So, the shape is like a pill, but this is made by a modern medicine. Whereas traditionally we have other pills. This is another pill. Here this pill is, if you can see, this is a very small pill. If you can see here, this is a very small pill. So, this depends on what is the use of the pill. This is another gutika which is used. The shape here is slightly different. This is again made using modern machine, and the compression is slightly oval in shape. So, pills in modern days are made using machines, but care should be taken that it does not stick to the container inside, else it looks sticky like this. If the dough is not correct and drying is not proper, then the pills stick to the container when it is stored. So, these gutikas, thus Chandraprabha Vati is an example of a gutika which is used for urinary disorders. Chandra means moon and Prabha means glow. So, this Vati or this gutika is used to eliminate the toxins from the body and thus gives you a glow on the face. When all the toxins are eliminated, the skin naturally glows. This has 37 herbs. Kankayana gutika is again a herbo-mineral mixture and it is used for digestive orders. Sut Shekhar Rasa, which is again combination of many herbs. This has cinnamon, cardamom, etc. and used for acidity and indigestion. Thus, gutikas are Ayurvedic tablets prepared by triturating the herbal or herbo-mineral powders with binders. They are hard, smooth, uniform in size. They should not break very easily. So, when I was holding it, it should not crumple, nor they should stick to the container like this. When you store a gutika, it should not stick like this. This means that the dough which was made was not proper or drying was improper. Coming to our next formulation, a solid dosage form, this is Bhasma. Now, as the name tells us, Bhasma means ash. When we say something is reduced to bhasma, which means literally ash. So, this is a formulation which is prepared by incinerating drugs, incinerating either the herbs, herbo-minerals combined with a metal. Here, most of these preparations are with metals and minerals or animal products, and this involves a process called as shodhana. Shodhana means purification. It involves a process of marana, which means incineration, and it involves a process of amritakarna, which means detoxification. So, the metals used here, metals and minerals, have to be detoxicated, else the metal toxicity will cause problems. So, these are, in our modern terminology, what we say, they are always in nano size or microparticles that become bioavailable, safe for therapeutic potency. How do we prepare this bhasma? What are the ingredients required for preparation of this bhasma? The most important one is dhatu, which means metal. Ratnas are used. Ratnas are precious gems. So, literally gold, silver, diamond, pearl, ruby is used in making a bhasma. Upadhatu is metalloid, metal and metalloid, minerals and animal products. So, metals like gold, silver, iron, copper, zinc are used. Whenever these metals are used, the bhasma is named respectively. We have Suvarna Bhasma, Rajat Bhasma, Loha Bhasma, Tamra Bhasma and Yashada Bhasma. Minerals like mica, gypsum and borax are used. Borax is very commonly used and it is called as Tankana Bhasma. Precious stones like ruby, pearl and diamonds are amalgamated with these herbs and incinerated. And animal products like conch shells, horns, shells. The difference between a conch shell and shell is, conch shell is a larger shell which has curled. The ones which we use during pujas for blowing, that is a conch shell. This is obtained from a higher molluscus, and shell is normally a single one, smaller ones, or it is bones, animal bones are used. Use of metals in traditional therapy. So, this goes back to our ancient hunter gatherers when they collected the mineral ores and ate it as food, and they found that these minerals possessed some form of therapeutic purposes, and since then these metals and minerals are used in traditional system of medicines. Their use is based on the belief that when they are properly purified and converted into bioavailable forms, they can restore the balance in the body. So, the tridoshas are very well balanced when such metals are used. So, the common metals which are used in Rasa Shastra mentioned in Ayurveda are the gold, silver, copper, iron and zinc. And gold, when it is used, it acts as a regenerator. So, if you all have seen Indian mothers while giving gutika to small babies, most of the times gold ring is just rubbed on a stone and babies are fed with silver spoon or in a silver vati. So, all these, the metal leaches out in that formulation, or we are known to drink water in silver glass or a copper vessel. So, when you store water, these small nanoparticles leach into the water, and that is known to balance our doshas. Metals are also very common in Siddha system of medicine, where they use mercury, which is considered as a potent regenerator, but it is very important to detoxify mercury and then use. Iron is used, gold and silver, which enhances vitality and longevity, and copper, which is used for skin and liver disorders. So, generally these metals are known for regeneration, to correct the blood disorders, for digestive and liver disorders. Copper is used to correct the nervous system and cardiac health. Gold and silver is used, and for skin diseases and immunity, copper and zinc is used. These are known to be safe only after processing. So, Shodhana, Marana and Amrit Karna are done on these metals to convert them into bhasmas. So, for preparation of bhasma, we require the dravyas or the herbal juices. For incineration, we require this is for binding, the cow products are used, and sometimes instead of the herb, the decoctions are used. Bhavana dravyas, these are medicated liquids used for binding, and the fuel for incineration is dried cow dung cakes. So, dried cow dung cakes, wood, remains of stems can be used, but in the modern day there is electric or gas furnace which is called muffle furnace, where the temperature reaches up to 800 degrees C to completely incinerate the herbal mixture. Traditionally, puta system is used, where the mixture is heated in earthen pots, and this is the most crucial form of bhasma. So, let us see the stepwise preparation of a bhasma. The first important step is shodhana. The raw material or mineral is impure and toxic in its natural state. So, this process involves repeated heating and quenching in herbal liquids or triturating with plant juices. For example, the loha shodhana, red hot iron is immersed in triphala quath. Triphala quath is a liquid where triphala is boiled in water, and this is triphala quath, or in cow urine. So, you repeatedly heat iron and immerse it in this quatha or cow urine. It is again heated, it is again immersed. This is shodhana. This removes the physical and chemical impurities, it reduces toxicity, and then the iron is safe for consuming. Marana or calcination, this is ground with suitable bhavana dravyas like quatha, cow urine and milk to form an uniform paste. This paste is then made into small round pellets, and these pellets are stored in sarava samaputa. This is an earthen vessel. Sometimes the earthen vessel is lined with a cloth or some leaves, and most of the times this earthen vessel is disinfected with some herbs again. So, the earthen vessel is, by just holding over, fumes of some herbs can be disinfected. Marana or calcination. So, like I told you, these pellets are then placed in an earthen vessel. A mass is made and it is placed in an earthen vessel, and the process is repeated some 10 to 100 times for the final, before the final bhasma is obtained. Heating by placing cow dung cakes or an electrical muffle furnace is used. This is the third step, which is called Amrit Karna. So, whatever mass is obtained from the initial one, this bhasma is then placed in a large piece of suran, and the entire thing is then incinerated. This is a very important step, and we can see this is elephant foot or suran, and in the center is the bhasma placed. So, in Ayurveda, Amrit Karni is the final step in preparation of these bhasmas. So, the role of suran here is to remove the toxic minerals. It causes detoxification because of the enzymes and the acrid principles which are present in surana, and this makes the bhasma more safe. So, it adds nourishing, regenerating qualities to the final formulation, and traditionally it is observed to reduce irritation and side effects. So, suran is considered to be very important in detoxification. So, here is an example of preparation of bhasma, copper and mercury powder. This is tamra bhasma. This powder is mixed with arsenic trisulfide and arsenic disulfide. Continuously it is heated or incinerated till we obtain this black mass. This black mass is then subjected to amrit karna in this by placing it in the suran and incinerating it. So, finally, when you get this bhasma, this is subjected to dahi pariksha. So, this bhasma, when you sprinkle it on top of curd, the lactic acid present in curd reacts with any free copper if still remains in the bhasma, and it gives blue color. So, if there is no color change in the bhasma, which means our copper is now completely toxically free to be consumed. Preparation of suvarna bhasma. So, here literally gold which is reduced to small pieces undergoes the process of incineration, and about 15 times it is reheated in puta. So, these are some of the examples of bhasmas: Swarna bhasma, Abrak bhasma, Loha bhasma, Yashad bhasma, used for different wellnesses. So, an ideal bhasma, the characteristic is tested by Rekha Purnatva, which means when you take bhasma in between these two fingers, your bhasma should go into the finger lines. So, that indicates that our bhasma, the particle size is so small that it gets in between two finger lines. Varitara is it should float on water. Nishandratva is it should not have any metallic taste. This is also called Niswada. Nirutha is it should not regain metallic form when treated with fire. Particle size which can be confirmed by modern evaluation, and it should be free from toxicity. This is also done by chemical analysis using modern methods, and it should be stable during shelf life. So, summarizing, gutikas are solid dosage form prepared by rolling the herbal mineral powders, whereas the bhasmas are prepared by incineration. This are herb or herbo-mineral powders, whereas here a metalloid is compulsory used. This is mixed with a binder, triturated and rolled into pill, whereas this has purification, it has calcination, and it has puta. These are small round pills, whereas this is a fine ash-like powder, easy to administer. This is used in chronic disease. This is generally very safe, depends on the ingredients. Bhasmas, if prepared in the traditional way, are considered safe, else if the metals are not completely converted, then they may be slightly toxic. Thank you.